What's going on, everybody? You're listening to episode 12 of Trash G Radio. I'm your host, Tyler, joined today by the Fragmaster himself, Lucas.
Hello, ladies.
And Mr. Mustache Ride Chance.
Hell yeah, man.
It is a sick stash.
It is a very sick stash.
Welcome to Movember, boys.
I love it. I love it. All right, guys. Don't forget to check us out at our Twitter, at TrashGearSports. Make sure you subscribe to us on YouTube. Make sure you follow us on Google Play and Spotify. You can catch all of our old podcasts there as well. Let's get into it, though. The Steelers played at the Baltimore Ravens. They came away with a huge win against Baltimore. Kind of a real statement game in my mind, saying, hey, the Steelers were back and were ready to go. Chance, what was your opinion about the game?
This was by far the best game the Steelers have played all year. They were A plus on all aspects except for Chris Boswell missing the extra point on the one kick.
Was that the first kick, right?
I don't think it was his first. It might have been his last kick. I can't remember exactly.
I think it was early in the game.
It might have been. I don't. I just know that I was pissed off.
It's so frustrating watching him struggle. It's so frustrating.
I'm pretty sure he leads the league now, or is like tied for the lead in like the most missed.
4, I believe, extra points.
Well, right now he's the active missed leader.
Oh, really?
Because the guy who was ahead of him just got cut yesterday.
Oh, well, hey, that's one way. So you saying we're cutting Chris?
No, they just signed him. They just signed him to a big contract. They literally can't.
Unless he loses them in the playoffs or something, I don't think he's gonna get cut.
I mean, it has to just be like the yips or something like that. You would imagine.
It's crazy.
It's just. I don't know. I listen to the radio shows in the morning, and the one guy he talks. He's apparently been watching film on him, trying to study why he's fucking up, and the guy just keeps saying that he's like swiveling his hips some weird way, like right before he kicks it, and he's never done this before, and now he's doing it.
Dude, because you want to know why? Because he has millions of dollars in his pocket now, guaranteed.
He probably has 10 grand and 20s in his fucking jock strap.
Wouldn't you do the same?
Yeah, I would. You never know. You see the Coors Light vendor walk down the stands. You're the kicker. You're standing right next to
You never know.
Fucking,
hey.
He's screaming, ice cold Coors Light here. You know Boswell's throwing up his fucking hand. Toss me a 24-ouncer. Let's go.
Lucas, what did you think of the game?
It was a great game. The Steelers looked well. James Conner continues to just blow my mind. I don't know how he keeps doing it, but I hope he keeps it up.
The one thing, I thought Ben looked actually really, really good this game. His counting stats weren't there, but just like some of the things he did and didn't do, like one of the last drives or something like that, he, instead of trying to throw a ball into like triple coverage, he just took the sack.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I feel like normally Big Ben just tosses it up there because,
Yeah, sometimes he has one of those, Eli Manning moments. He's just like, fuck it, there's Odell, but he does it to Antonio Brown, Antonio Brown's like fucking 5 guys grabbing his dick. Ben sees him.
Ben just goes to, hey,
fuck it, there's AB, fuck it, just chuck it as deep as you can.
They controlled this whole game. Like, possession time was just all them. They wasted, 8 minutes the first drive of the third quarter. First quarter, even the first drive.
It all started with the first drive. They put it right to the Ravens, and the Ravens didn't know what to do.
I feel like that's what helps the Steelers especially a lot, especially with their defense, is that whenever the Steelers go and they can score on their first drive, like I know at the beginning of the season whenever they started off, like Kansas City put 21 points on them without nothing, which I mean Kansas City is a little bit, but whenever we get down right off the bat, it just makes us look so shittier, and I feel like we don't play as well as if we can put up a quick 7 points or something like that, or even a quick field goal or anything.
If you can get points on your first drive, like that's huge for the defense, because then they know that if they do give up a score, it's not the end of the world. Whereas if you don't do anything, and then the defense gives up a touchdown, and then the other team gets the ball back at halftime, so they could go up another possession then. So you got to score when you get the opportunities, and the Steelers did that. They looked really good.
Now, do you think we're going to ride this all the way till Thursday Night Football?
Nope.
Against the Carolina Panthers?
Do I think we're going to ride hot streak?
This hot streak, this wave.
Oh, yeah. I think they'll take care of the Carolina Panthers. No problem.
I don't think it's going to be that easy.
I don't think it's going to be easy.
One of our toughest games.
I think they're going to win, though.
Because Steelers have played they're on a win streak, but they played the Browns, the Bengals, and the Ravens, and all 3 teams, they're falling apart.
Yeah, but you got to remember that those are all 3 division rivals, and those games are entirely different.
Wins, but I think this is going to be up there with the Chiefs game as their hardest game of the season.
Well, you got to think the Panthers just barely survived Fitzmagic last week in a last
we also
second
barely
comeback.
survived Fitzmagic.
Yeah, we did almost
It's gonna
barely
be a good
survive.
game. Cam Newton's gonna come in. It's gonna be interesting.
I think this is going to be one of their. It's like Steelers just have a tough schedule.
I think
at this
what we
point.
have going best for us is the fact that Cam Newton cannot throw the deep ball because he has a shoulder problem. So but he's an amazing runner. So we're going to I don't know if we're going to spy him or something, but the deep ball's not going to be a threat, which should help us out because we don't. I think we can give up too many deep plays.
I think us being at home is really going to help us for this next game. Us playing at home because Carolina is a tough opponent. I think their wild card spot right now in the.
Yeah.
So I think that right there is going to help all by itself. But let's talk a little bit about Lev Bell, who's sending out cryptic tweets saying, "See you later, Miami."
Yeah, so apparently he's in Pittsburgh. He played a pickup basketball game at a Planet Fitness last night in the South Side with a bunch of fucking Pitt students. As of today, Wednesday, November 7th, he has not reported to the Steelers facility or made any contact with them. Oh, the Steelers feel like he's going to do that at some point this week. I mean,
I heard since it's a short week, like the game's on Thursday, that he has until tomorrow. But if it would have been a Sunday game, he would have been too late already or something.
Yeah, he's not playing this week, regardless if he shows up or not. So I mean, it doesn't matter.
But if he still signs the franchise tag and then we do the 2-week thing, we still technically have to, pay him for this game.
Yeah,
like Thursday night's game.
But they don't have to pay him anything for 2 weeks if they use the roster.
Well, yeah, I
exception.
guess the way I look at it is that if we have 10 games left.
Yeah.
And you're only going to get paid, and you're not going to get paid for 2 of them.
Yeah.
If you start this week, then you're going to get paid for 8, as opposed to if you start next week, you're not going to get paid for 7.
Yeah. He'll come in. I guarantee. If it's not tomorrow, it's definitely some point this weekend. He does his shit.
Well, I also saw today that apparently the Players League might try to say that this is Le'Veon's. That like next year the Steelers can't franchise tag him again, or it's something that if they franchise tag him will cost them $24 million.
Yeah, I don't think the Steelers are going to franchise tag him again. So at that point, it doesn't matter. Le'Veon Bell's leaving free agency. The Steelers aren't giving him the money that he wants at this point because James Conner is clearly, just as good, if not better in his own way.
Yeah,
plus
statistically, he's better.
Plus he's cheaper. Plus he's younger.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't have. I mean, he tore his ACL in college, but he has no injury history like in the
I think
pros.
he has more respect for the team. As
Yeah,
well.
he's a Pittsburgh guy.
He doesn't get caught smoking that hashish, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
What a fucking loser.
So at this point, I fully expect Le'Veon Bell to leave the Steelers and the Steelers to either draft or sign a second running back in free agency just to back up James Conner.
Well, so now here's my thing, is that if they do try to say, like, whether the Steelers try to franchise tag Lev Bell or not, suppose in this scenario they do try to franchise tag him, and they try to say it's his 30-year franchise, which they would have to pay him $24 million. I don't think that can hold up. Is there any way? Because isn't it just that the Players Union is trying to say that then that would be? Or is there, like, some actual, like...
So I've heard so many conflicting stories about what actually happens beyond this point if Le'Veon Bell doesn't show up and doesn't sign the tag. I know originally I heard people say that the Steelers could like count next year as this year for the tag and pay him what he was like guaranteed.
Mm-hmm.
And then I heard that he doesn't show up so many games that they're eligible to like pay him less next year for the franchise tag. And now we're hearing that he might not, like, they might not be able to use, like, this year as his franchise tag. They'll have to use, like, the third-year model where they pay them, like, whatever, 3 times the salary or whatever it is. I don't see that happening. Both sides are everyone's just over it at this point. Lev Bell's gonna come back. He's gonna do whatever he can with his touches, and he's gonna leave.
Yeah, I think the Steelers are over Lev Bell at this point. I think the Steelers player as a whole, like, they're just over Lev Bell. They're just saying, whenever he shows up, he'll show up. But until then, we kind of got to do with what we got. I think Le'Veon Bell kind of misstepped in the sense that I don't know what team is going to give him a huge contract. At least some winning team is going to give him a huge contract.
He definitely played himself. He had a chance. I understand exactly what he did. He took a gamble because if James Conner wouldn't have become what he is now, and the Steelers' offense looked like shit, and he then comes back and he looks like a hero if they start clicking, and then he shows his worth. He gets paid his money. But all that backfired now because now that James Conner is balling out, it shows that, they don't need a Lev Bell, and other teams don't need to pay Lev Bell this much money. You can find a good running back late in the third round of a draft.
Yeah,
like
teams are
James
starting to
Conner.
realize you don't have to pay a running back. You can just draft a running back in the second, third round, or just draft them and then you're set for a couple of years. Which I mean, it's shitty for running backs because at that point you're just being used on your shitty contract.
That's just how it is. I mean, it's a job. It's just how the league works. No one's the life expectancy of a NFL player is like 3.5 years, I think, or not life expectancy.
A career.
No,
career
life expectancy. They die after.
Yeah, you know. What I mean.
Yeah, no. So I just think it's one of those things where Lev Bell played himself in. I hope he gets money, but I hope he doesn't get it from the Pittsburgh
I hope he
Steelers.
doesn't.
I don't think he's getting what he wants.
Seems like an asshat.
I think he's gonna get what Gurley got or less. That's my.
I don't even think
prediction.
he'll get Gurley's contract. I don't think he'll get Gurley's contract.
either.
I think because teams will look at it and be like, Todd Gurley is what 3 or 4 years younger than you.
Yeah.
3 or 4 years younger. He actually played last season, so we know. And Todd Gurley doesn't have any of the injuries nor the off-field antics.
Yeah.
So I don't think that the Steel or any team is going to give him Todd Gurley's contract. I think Todd Gurley is going to be like the top, and Le'Veon Bell is going to be somewhere. And guess what? I guess it only takes one sucker to pay him that.
Yeah, he's going to get paid by a shitty team, and he's going to be happy wherever he goes because that shows what kind of person he is. He just cares about his money. I mean, if I was making millions of dollars too, I wouldn't want to make money too, but I want to win championships. A lot of players, they make it clear that they want to win championships, and he doesn't want to win a championship. He just wants to play for himself.
I could honestly see him going into free agency this offseason, testing the market, and if there isn't like a long-term deal that he feels he's worth, I could see him taking like a 1-year contract with like
You think?
a contender, and then he'll make like I don't know as much not as much as he would on like the franchise tag for a year, but probably like a little less, and then like it'd be like a prove it deal, kind of like what Des Bryant's doing now, that he signed with the Saints today.
Which, speaking of which, we'll transition.
Yeah, we'll transition. But I think Lev Bell could do that. We saw that last year. Alshon Jeffrey did it with the Eagles. He signed a 1-year deal. He balls out. They win the Super Bowl. Now he cashes in with some huge contract this offseason.
Who's he playing for right now?
The Eagles still.
Oh, he's still playing for the Eagles.
Yeah,
right?
he re-signed with the Eagles.
Oh, okay.
But they gave him like a 1-year tried-out deal, and he balled out.
We'll go to the other big game that happened this weekend. That was Rams at Saints. Now, Chance did call this one right. He said that the Rams would come in and lose to the Saints.
Yeah.
The Saints almost did give up the lead, though.
Yeah, they did. They had a 21-point lead going into halftime, and they came out and kind of squandered that. But that's they let their foot off the gas with the play calling. They were being a little too conservative, but then they picked it back up, and they got that 75-yard touchdown to Michael Thomas, cell phone celebration and all, and that was
Joe
the dagger.
But
Some people were so pissed about that celebration, and it's like, why?
Well, it's funny because like a lot of people don't even they didn't understand it. Like I knew exactly what he was doing because back in like elementary school and shit, I was obsessed with like the touchdown celebrations in the NFL, like the Chad Ochocinco's and the T.O.'s. And Joe Horn was a guy like that in the early 2000s. He had a lot of YouTube highlights of his crazy celebrations, and that was a wacky one. It was pretty sick. But yeah, a lot of people were super pissed at it. I just like, what the fuck is
Let
your
them have
problem?
fun.
Well, I think they were mainly pissed because you weren't up by like 20 at that point. You were only up by 10.
Yeah, and you also gave the Rams starting position at.
Like I think that's mainly why people were pissed.
But I mean,
you gave the penalty. But at the same time, it's like
At the same time, like they won, like
Hey.
the Rams didn't do anything with the field position, and at this point, like
if they would have lost because of that, or like if they
that'd be an entirely different
oh,
story.
that'd be terrible. But they won, so it's okay.
Yeah.
It's all good and fun.
Yeah.
What'd you think about it?
Great game. Good quarterback battle. Two of the best in the league. Young and old, both almost 400 yards. Goff with 3 TDs. Breeze with 4 TDs. It was a fun game to watch. Nice and high scoring. I mean, this is what I like to see. Good teams face each other.
Yeah, these are the two best teams in the NFL, in my opinion. I think they're so evenly matched that if this game was in LA, it might have swung the other way. But they're going to play each other in the playoffs again at some point in the NFC Championship because these are the two teams that I see being a 1 and 2 in the NFC. And I mean, it'll be another great game, hopefully, unless like some serious injuries or something happens. But it was a great game. My favorite game of the week.
Now, I also hope that this puts another feather in the cap for Drew Brees making the MVP run.
So I've seen everything that he currently has an edge over Pat Mahomes. They're like neck and neck. They're giving the edge to Breeze because of the teams he's beat so far.
Really?
You know, Mahomes has beat Ben,
Mhm.
but who's he beat other than that? You know,
Yeah.
he lost to Tom Brady. You know, he's beat shitty teams. I think he
Mhm.
beat Phillip Rivers. Like, that's not saying too much.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like you can only play who's in front of you.
Yeah,
You know what
yeah,
I mean?
yeah.
Like that is one argument, but my whole thing is that, and like the Mahomes versus Breeze for MVP, I would like to see Drew Brees, seeing that he is such the all-time great quarterback that he is. Even though it's kind of like you're kind of picking to choose, I would rather see Breeze get the MVP over Mahomes because I feel like obviously Mahomes has way more chances coming up to be MVP over Breeze, and Breeze has thrown over 5,000 yards. What, like
4 or 5 times.
5 times? Never won an MVP yet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He has a Super Bowl ring to him. Doesn't have an MVP though, and I feel like once he gets an MVP, that will really kind of throw him up into that upper echelon. Not that he's not already there, but then it's like you can really say like, yeah, Drew Brees is in that, Montana, Brady, Manning, that kind of heiress.
Yeah, I look
Eli?
at Drew Brees as the Chris Paul of the NFL. You know, he's really good at his position. You know, he's up there in the top 3. You know, Chris Paul's a top 3 point guard. Drew Brees top 3 quarterback in the NFL right now. But Chris Paul's never won the chip, so everyone looks past him because he doesn't have like the playoff legacy, and that's the same with Drew Brees. Drew Brees has a chip, but he only has one. He doesn't have any MVPs, and he gets looked past because of that. But I think it's bullshit. You know?
Which quarterback spit on Drew Brees? Just out of curiosity.
What quarterback spit on?
Yeah, because Chris Paul got spit on by Rondo. So
I don't know.
Do you think some DB just gave him a quick spit?
It was probably Fitzpatrick if it was anything.
Well, Drew now has a new target. Des Bryant, as of today, signed a 1-year contract with New Orleans. What do you guys think about that deal?
Yeah, I think it's a good deal. The Saints need wide receivers. Michael Thomas does it all for them. Other than that, they don't have anything outside of Michael Thomas on the outside. Dez is going to come into an environment where they already have an established culture. They have a good head coach. They have a Hall of Fame quarterback, and they're 7-1. They just beat the best team in the NFL. So he really doesn't have to do much other than like catch the balls that are thrown his way. It's that simple, and he can possibly win a Super Bowl. So
yeah, I think it's going to be good for Dez having like less pressure on him. He's going to be in a different market. Like Dallas is a big football market, so there's probably a lot of pressure. He was the number 1. I'm sure he's going to be one of their best or top receivers in New Orleans too. But like you said, they're already established. They're already a team. He's coming in just to help them out. He's going to be behind a quarterback for once, not fucking Tony Romo and Dak. But
Romo wasn't bad. He was just injury prone.
But it's going to be interesting. He hasn't played, so we'll see if he's still got his speed. I think he's slowed down whenever he was in his prime. But I'm excited to see what he does with Breeze.
But now you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't Des Bryant more of a just like a size receiver more than anything?
I mean, he has some athletic ability, like speed, but he's like that deep threat. You want jump balls, big red zone
Kinda
target.
Julio-ish.
So he's just a big dude more than.
Yeah.
And so I think that helps in the sense that like maybe he doesn't need to separate as much, which obviously that's kind of why Dallas cut him because he wasn't separating as much. But with Drew Brees and how accurate he is, I'm sure Drew Brees can just throw right in. He's such a big target that Drew Brees can kind of pick and choose where he wants to.
But within the Saints offense, he's going to be wide open like 80% of the time.
Well, because he's going to be what do you think, like third receiver? Because if you
he's going to be. He'll be split number 2 with the rookie Traquan Smith, Traquan Smith. But the opposing defenses are going to double team Michael Thomas, and they're going to double team Alvin Kamara every play.
Yeah.
So that leaves Des Bryant 1-on-1 on the other side.
See, that's why I was putting him at third, I guess. Was that obviously your 2 primary options are going to be Kamara and what's the right receiver's name? I'm sorry.
Michael Thomas.
Michael Thomas. Those are going to be the 2 main focuses of the defense. Then you have Des Bryant. Yeah, he's old. He's older, but
exactly. But he's going to be on the worst of the opposing teams defenders because he's the odd man out.
Yeah, and like Lucas was saying, this is the best quarterback. Drew Brees is the best quarterback he's had so far. You know what I mean? And I think it's also one of those things where people have knocked Dez for some of his like sideline antics, going yelling, saying
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
If he tries to yell in New Orleans, they're just gonna be like, listen, you're on a 1-year deal, you're gone.
Yeah, they're just gonna cut him if he's at any distraction. This is like a win-win for the Saints.
Drew Brees and Sean Payton are just gonna show him their Super Bowl rings and just be like, hey, where's yours at? Oh yeah, sorry, you don't have one, so shut the fuck up, please.
They're gonna tell him to go back to Cleveland and try and get another interview with them.
So I'm glad Des got a job because but it's a funny thing because like no one wanted to call him or anything. But the second he signed a deal, that's all I see on ESPN is just Des Bryant got signed and all this type of stuff, and it's gonna bring hype. Like,
oh yeah.
I want to watch the Saints play a little bit more now, because I want to see if Des Bryant's any good actually, or if he's just
Yeah.
trash
Because
ass.
you knew the Saints were already good, so you're like, all right, they're probably going to win this game. And now you got Dez. Oh, let's see what fucking Dez can do. It's kind of the same thing Josh Gordon going to Patriots. Like,
Yeah.
we know how good Josh Gordon is, but let's see how good he is with the new system.
Yeah, this is honestly the same thing.
Yeah, exactly. And star power helps. You know what I mean? And
Oh.
yeah, Des isn't maybe not as good anymore, but he's still. If you say Des Bryant, people are gonna know who he is.
And Drew Brees is gonna make Des Bryant look better than what he actually is.
I'm telling you, there's gonna be an ESPN highlight after this game where it's just Drew Brees throwing a bomb to Des Bryant in the end zone, and he comes up and he throws. Do you think he's gonna throw up the X?
Oh, he's got to.
He's gonna throw up the
His
X.
first score.
The Saints actually play the Cowboys in like 3 weeks, I think.
Dude, what do you predict his stat line right now? How many targets do you think he's getting?
I think he has like 5 catches for like 78 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Do you think?
Yeah.
See,
I could see
I'm
something
hoping
like
I'm hoping Des says, "Yo, let me put a buck 50 on him
Yeah,
right
I
now."
hope he has more yards than like Dak Prescott has the whole game.
I really hope he does good.
Just because it'd be the biggest FU to Jerry Jones, and Jerry Jones would just be so pissed.
I really hope that Dez is the reason that the Cowboys head coach gets fired. Like, I hope it's that game that like Dez just comes in and just balls out and gets their head coach fired.
Well,
Jason Garrett.
did you guys see that they already committed to Dak Prescott pretty much?
Yeah,
Jerry Jones.
Jerry Jones said that. Yeah.
He said, "Yeah, Dak's gonna get extended," and it's like, dude, what are you doing right now? Why are you extending Dak?
Yeah.
Maybe once he matures, I don't know, but
He's just. I wonder if a new coach would maybe really improve that team, but it's one of those things where Jerry Jones wants to be the face of that franchise, and until then,
Yeah, they've been a joke for 20 years because he's their general manager. Like, he's the sole reason why that team is ass.
so who knows? But I mean, that was pretty much week 9. There was a Rodgers Brady matchup. Brady got the better win. Aaron Rodgers looks like he just fucking hates his life at this point. Every play, every game, there's always something. There's a fumble this time on the fourth quarter. There's a winning drive and there's a fumble. Can't have it.
Yeah, the Packers stink and the coach stinks and Rodgers is just sitting on the stink.
He looks defeated. He looks like he's just like he doesn't even look like he wants to go out there. He looks injured.
it's in his head now.
Yeah, I just think he's gonna have a shitty time because he doesn't believe in
He
it.
gets to go home and
I don't think he's married.
tap Danica Patrick, bro.
Discount double check.
All right, well let's get into some week 10 predictions then, if you guys are all right with that.
Let's do it.
So we already talked a little bit about Carolina at Pittsburgh, Thursday night football game. Chance, who are you gonna pick for this game?
Yeah, I'm going with the Steelers. They look good. It's a home game, short week. I think the Panthers are going to be tired. The Steelers are going to be tired too, but I'm going with the Steelers because they're at home, and fuck the Panthers. I'm a Steelers fan.
Yeah, I'm also going to pick Pittsburgh on this one. I think Pittsburgh's rolling, and I think the fact that they're at home is actually going to help them. Hopefully we take Cam Newton into some enemy territory. He tries to throw a couple deep balls and it just doesn't work out. Maybe we actually get some turnovers this game. That'd be kind of nice. So, yeah, I'm also going to go with Pittsburgh on this one. Lucas?
All week I was thinking, you know what, I think Carolina's going to pull this out. They have Christian McCaffrey, one of the best running backs in the league right now. And I was thinking, Panthers, they're on a pretty hot win streak too, but after I look at who they played, I mean, they're not even the good teams. Like, they beat Tampa, Ravens, Eagles. They lost to Redskins and Falcons. I mean, there's a couple big losses against some not very good teams. And my defense was the Steelers haven't really played any good teams either. But I think since being at Pittsburgh, they're still riding this James Conner train. I think Steelers are going to squeeze it out. It's going to be a close game. They just got to watch Cam. He's going to rush all over them, I think. But I'm going to give it to Steelers.
Well, see, I'm always wondering if the Steelers try to go with their general, Pittsburgh rush kind of deal. Maybe, if we're blitzing 2 or 3 guys every time and Cam tries to get away, hopefully we can just, crowd him before he can really do too much damage to us.
The key to this game is going to be shutting down the tight end Greg Olsen.
Mm-hmm.
He's Cam Newton's favorite target, and then shutting down Christian McCaffrey, as Lucas said, because those are the two most lethal players right there. You can let Cam Newton run on you as long as you don't let him score.
Mm-hmm. Just spear him. The second he goes down, spear him.
Yeah, you gotta take some L's. You can't stop everything, so you gotta.
Well, we'll just have to wait till Thursday night. Actually, the game will be over at this point. The Steelers won 55-3.
Yep.
So.
Jeff Reed had to come off the bench and kick 6 field goals to win because Chris Boswell had some traumatic stress disorder before the game.
Damn. All right, next game is the Saints at Cincinnati.
Yeah, I'm going with the Saints. AJ Green is out. He has a toe injury. He's out for a couple weeks. That's their best wide receiver, so I'm going with the Saints.
Yeah, I'm also going to go Saints on this. I think they're playing right now like the best football team in the NFL, so I'm expecting them to keep that going in Cincinnati.
Yeah, Saints all the way. Bengals aren't too bad, actually, but Saints are better.
Yeah, no, Saints are just too good. Which it helps for us because if we lose this one, then the Bengals have a chance to take first place from us. So hopefully we win, they lose.
Then the Bengals have the Ravens and then Browns back-to-back, so it's going to be interesting in the AFC North.
And we have fucking New England and fucking someone else, I'm sure. All right, next game is Atlanta at Cleveland.
I'm going with Atlanta. They're on a little bit of a win streak. Their team's actually starting to look better than what they did at the beginning of the year. They're getting some guys back from injury this week. I just think they're gonna win. Cleveland looks so fucked up like Cleveland normally does.
Yeah, I'm also going to go Atlanta on this one. I think Atlanta is actually a better team than what we give them credit for than their record shows because I think they're just so damaged on defense. But their offense is such a good offense still with Julio and Matt Ryan. And, hey, Julio finally got a touchdown, so maybe he'll try to make it 2 in a row for once.
Yeah, Falcons are on a 3-game win streak. Baker Mayfield, he's looking good.
But he also just lost his head coach and his offensive coordinator.
Yeah, I'm not saying they're going to win because of Baker Mayfield. I'm just saying he's not doing too bad, but Falcons are a superior team just overall. Yeah.
All right, next game is Detroit at Chicago.
Yeah, I'm going Chicago. Detroit they look bad.
Yeah, they had a little glimpse of hope there for a couple weeks, but
whenever they beat New England, everyone was like, "Yeah, this is Detroit. They're a team now."
Yeah, they beat New England and Packers.
It's not saying much to beat the Packers at this point.
Well, I mean, it was 3 weeks ago. Everyone thought Packers were hot.
I know.
Shit
Everyone thought Packers actually still had hope. So are you going with Chicago then?
Yeah.
I'm also going with Chicago on this one. Is Khalil Mack back yet? Or is he still resting?
Back.
Yeah,
he returned to the practice field.
Oh, yeah.
As of 1 hour ago.
R.I.P. Matt Stafford. Next game is Arizona at Kansas City.
Yeah, Kansas City. Arizona. I mean, I don't even gotta say much. I don't gotta say much. Arizona just.
Lucas, are you also picking Kansas City?
Yeah, I mean, how many games did Arizona won? One game. It was against 49ers. And you think they're gonna pull out a fucking win against one of the hottest teams in the AFC?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, Chiefs.
All right, I'm also going Chief. His next game is the Patriots at the red hot Tennessee Titans. Just came off a huge win over Dallas.
Huge high scoring event down there in the Big D. I don't know. I'm going with the Patriots.
Yeah, Titans are a dumpster fire right now. They beat a terrible team, but they've lost to some also terrible teams. Patriots are, they're the Patriots. They're back. I mean, it's just what it is.
They got the GOAT. They got the GOAT at the front of it in coaching and in quarterbacking. So they're gonna win. New England all the way. Next game is Washington at Tampa Bay.
Yeah, I'm going with Tampa Bay on this one.
Tampa Bay, Fitzmagic right there.
I'm going with Fitzmagic.
Is he still the starter?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
4 TDs last week.
The Redskins just lost 3 of their offensive linemen to injury reserve this past weekend. So they have no offensive line anymore. Alex Smith is going to get killed. And I just think that Fitzpatrick is going to throw fucking 99 TDs this game.
Yeah, I was going to say, Buccaneers they're losing games, but they're scoring a lot of points. Yeah, I'm going to give it to Buccaneers. Alex Smith he's so washed up.
Yeah, I'm also going Buccaneers because check down Alex he ain't beating Fitzmagic. Did he really have Fitzmagic really have 4 touchdowns last game?
Yeah, he threw a pick, but he had 4 touchdowns. Too.
Dude, how bad does that make Winston look?
Dude,
Like seriously, like you have a what would be known as the league's average backup quarterback come in and score 4 touchdowns like every game he plays,
Pretty sure he's like 54 years old.
and you throw fucking 4 picks. Like you know you're done.
It's
Like
just wild because they have like crazy offensive talent down there. They have like Deshaun Jackson and Mike Evans and OJ Howard and Jameis still throws it to the other fucking team. Like
But see, here's the problem with them is that they've won so many games at this point that they can't even tank. They can't tank for that high pick. You know what I mean?
the head coach is in such a bad position because if he tanks, he gets fired. But if he doesn't tank, then he's an average team. He gets an average pick, and his team doesn't get any better next year.
I mean,
And then he probably gets fired next year. So I mean, he saves his career for 1 year maybe.
I mean, hey, I would probably at this point, I would honestly write out Fitzmagic. I don't know. Can you? They already picked up Jameis's 5th-year option at this point, correct?
I don't know if they picked it up or not.
Dude, I would say fuck. Like, you know, at this point, if you have Fitzmagic right now, taking time away from your franchise quarterback, he's not a franchise quarterback.
Yeah,
You know you're gonna hit the restart button. So
Yeah.
it's like just hit the restart button.
they just need to move on from Jameis. Although I have a feeling we'll see him starting again at some point.
Oh,
this
for sure.
season.
Or even like just try to sign a free agent quarterback. Like you can go to any quarterback and look, and say, look, we had Ryan Fitzpatrick get 4 touchdowns, break records with our team, but it's Ryan Fitzpatrick, so we don't want him. And we'll pay you a shit ton of money. Just come here and play.
It's just sad when you look at the game last week, the 49ers game, with the third-string quarterback Nick Mullins coming in.
Oh, what a game.
First NFL start, and the dude throws like a perfect fucking passer rating.
Dude, he got him verified on Twitter over that shit.
He's had more success in one game than Jameis Winston has had in his entire NFL career. Like, how's that gonna make Jameis feel? Like watching that game, like this bum third-string quarterback who shouldn't even be in the NFL. To be honest with you, he should never.
What if he keeps this up? What are they going to do with Jimmy G? Who are they going to keep?
I
Why
think they
Jimmy
were
G?
dumb to do what they did with Jimmy G. Anyways.
Yeah, they gave way too much money, but I think he could be a solid starter, but
I think
he hasn't
could.
proven himself enough
Jimmy
yet.
G. Yeah, I think he's a solid
But
quarterback.
this
I mean,
dude, I'm interested to see what this guy does.
I don't know. Let's just move on. Next game.
next game. We got the Buffalo Bills at the New York
All
Jets.
right, I just looked this up whenever you guys were talking. I was looking at the previous Bills games. They've scored a combined 46 points over their last 6 games.
They're on pace to historically be the worst offense in NFL history.
They scored 9 points against the fucking Bears last week.
They scored 9 points against the Bears and only allowed 140 total yards.
Lucas, you want a fun fact for you? Todd Gurley has produced more offense than the Buffalo Bills
That's
have
what
this
I'm
year.
saying. They put 46 points in the past 6 games.
Old-
Bears dropped 41 on them
Old
last game.
Nate Peterman's getting another
I
start.
don't understand how this dude has a job.
Dude,
What?
They're playing for the pick.
But you can't tell me there's not a single person in the world who can play quarterback.
No, that's what I'm telling you. They know there is, but they're playing for that first overall
it's
pick.
Insane.
Yeah,
Imagine being a fucking.
They are
Bills fan.
100% tanking right now.
Like, you don't put Nate Peterman out there thinking we're gonna win. You put him out there thinking, I hope he throws 5 picks as
But
opposed
this
to
dude thinks
4.
he's a fucking NFL starter.
Who, Peterman?
Dude, it was the funniest thing. They interviewed him last week before the game, and they asked him if he was like nervous or if he thought like he had any bad luck or something because he's had like the worst starts ever. And the guy was like, you know, I feel like I'm blessed to be here and I can go out and win on any given Sunday. And he goes out and throws 3 fucking picks and puts up 9 points.
Yeah, but like, what do you want him to say? Like, that's one of those things where it's like, what do you expect him to say? Yeah, I'm ass. I'm probably gonna throw 3 picks. Sorry, Buffalo, and just run out the door.
I mean, you wish he was self-aware.
The
enough to
Bears
know that.
defense got me 50 points on fantasy last week.
That was a smart pickup by you.
I know. They literally scored They scored more than anyone else on my fucking team, and I have some studs.
Dude, hey, at least I'm pretty sure he threw 3 interceptions, but he rushed for 1 touchdown. Peterman did, so.
Jets aren't very good either, but I gotta go with the Jets.
Oh yeah, we're all picking Jets, I would assume, right, Chance?
Well, I didn't even hear the game. What is it?
It's Buffalo
Jets
at
and
Jets.
Bills. Sam Darnold's hurt, so I mean,
Are you
Who
picking
are they
Buffalo?
aren't they playing the Jets?
Yeah, they're playing
I
the
mean,
Jets.
like who's quarterback? I meant.
Oh, I don't know who the backup is. Oh, Josh McCown. He's like Fitzpatrick, but like 10 years older.
Yeah, you're right. But Josh Allen, he says there's a chance he could play on Sunday.
Are you guys picking Buffalo right now?
I'm gonna throw a wild horse. I'm picking Buffalo.
I'm
Fuck it.
going
Why
the
not?
Jets.
Why not?
I'm going the Jets.
Yeah, chance.
Why not?
Talk Lucas into picking
It's gonna be,
Buffalo.
This
6-3.
game could be a 0-0
Yeah, it's gonna be
tie.
6-3, about 9 interceptions apiece.
All right,
No
next game.
scores.
Jacksonville at Colts. Indianapolis.
I'm going with the Colts. Andrew Luck looks good.
Oh, dude, Andrew Luck is back. I'm also picking Colts.
And Jacksonville looks bad.
Thank God, 'cause we got to play him.
Colts are scoring a lot of touchdowns, and I'm gonna pick them over Jags because they're not scoring touchdowns.
I think Andrew Luck showed that, kind of all the hype he received, 2 years ago before he was injured, was definitely worth it. And they finally have an offensive line now to kind of protect him. So you do that, and you do a little bit of this, a little bit of that with a franchise quarterback, and look at what happens. You win games.
Yeah, I'd like to see him have some actual weapons on offense around him, but
Like Le'Veon Bell.
like Le'Veon Bell. But he makes do with what he has. He has those bargain bin players up there, and he's second behind Mahomes in touchdown passes this
I
season.
did not know that, actually. All right, next one is the L.A. Chargers at the Oakland Raiders.
Is there any hope? Any hope for the Raiders this week?
No, because the Bolts are they're a playoff sleeper for sure, and the Raiders are not.
Yeah, I'm gonna go San Diego on this one. Not like the Rams or not the Rams. The Chargers are gonna go back to San Diego to play this game,
And they're still gonna win.
and they're still gonna win.
Yeah, they're gonna draft the YMCA team in San Diego. They're gonna beat the Raiders.
Chance, are you going with?
I'm going with the Bolts.
Okay. Next game is Seattle at the Rams.
You think the Rams are gonna recover after the devastating loss?
Yeah, I think the Rams bounce back. Seattle, they're not very good. Russell
Talk
Wilson
about
does-
Seattle that way.
Russell Wilson doesn't have much around him.
No, he really doesn't.
That's just it. It's just
Yeah,
Seattle's losing.
Seahawks, they're just a 500 team against NFC Championship team, Rams.
Yeah, I'm also gonna go with the Rams, but Seahawks are my dark horse 6th seed wild card.
Get out of here.
Because the Chargers are going to get the not Chargers. Panthers are going to get the other wild card.
So you got the Panthers and the Seahawks in the wild card.
Yes, that's my prediction right now.
Do you like who the division leaders are right now in the NFC?
Fuck, who are the division leaders even?
Right now it is
Maybe.
the Saints in the NFC South,
Okay.
the Bears in the NFC North,
Yeah.
the Rams in the NFC
They're keeping that.
West, and what am I missing? The East. I can't remember who's in the league. It
Texans?
was the Washington.
For
the NFC.
Texans
Yeah.
is leading,
Maybe
isn't it?
Washington.
Texans
No,
are in
Texans is in
AFC.
R. So yeah. So I mean,
Washington was leading. I don't know that division. The Cowboys, the fucking Eagles, they all suck
Yeah.
equally.
I
So,
think this is getting a sidetrack, but the AFC is going to be it's a tough conference now with like the Houston's on fire. Like I said, LA, they're going to be a sleeper. You got Steelers, Chiefs, fucking Patriots. Yeah, I think it's a good division.
yeah. So in the NFC you have the Redskins followed by the Eagles. In the NFC East, in the NFC North,
Trash division.
you have Bears followed by the Vikings. Then you have the South. You have the Saints followed by the Panthers, which I think the Panthers are going to make that wild card. Then in the NFC West, you have the Rams followed by the Seahawks. You know who else is in their division?
the Cardinals and
Cardinals
fucking
and 49ers. So if either of those two teams have to play either of those two
Yeah,
teams,
so the NFC playoff picture is pretty much already set. I don't
the
see
only thing
anybody jumping in that.
the only thing is the Vikings or the Eagles. Those are the only two that I'm kind of iffy.
I think Atlanta could make a push.
Eagles are 4-4. The Vikings are 5-3. The Falcons are 4-4 as well. So that's a possibility. But my guess, I'm putting faith in the Seahawks, just because I've kind of put myself in that corner.
I like that dark horse.
So, all right, next one is Miami at Green Bay.
I think Green Bay might win this game.
Finally.
They might.
I'm gonna go with Green Bay just because I think Aaron Rodgers won't lose
But
3 games in a row.
But Brovember is starting again this week, so I mean, he didn't do anything last week. Brovember doesn't sound as good as Brocktober.
Exactly. So are you gonna pick him? Are you picking Miami or are you picking Green
Yeah,
Bay?
dude, I'm going with Aaron Rodgers.
Lucas, who are you picking?
Packers are in a losing streak. They lost to the Patriots and the
Rams.
Rams.
So like the 2 best teams.
Yeah. Osweiler, he's fucking just like Fitzpatrick, man. I don't know where he does it, but I'm still gonna go with the Packers. Yeah.
Okay, there we go. Yeah, I'm almost gonna go Packers. Just I don't trust Miami. Next game is Dallas at Philly.
Philly.
Lucas.
Philly.
I'm also going Philly. Fuck this game.
I hate the Cowboys. I don't even know.
I hope
I'm
they
not even
sign.
looking at their previous games. I'm just gonna go Philly.
I hope they sign Dak Prescott to like a 5-year, $3 bajillion deal just to really fuck him over. Lucas, this is a game for you right now.
Let's go.
The New York Giants at the San Francisco 49ers. Lucas, is this Eli's game to win right now?
He's not gonna win it. Like we were just talking about like that Nick Mullins dude, fucking 262 yards, 3 TDs. Eli Manning, I don't even think he has 3 TDs on the season. But
That's actually a good question. I don't know how many TDs he has on the season.
Less than 10.
Last game they lost to the Redskins a couple weeks ago. They're on a bye week last week.
The 49ers are winning this game. Nick Mullins is going to have.
I'm trying to find some hope here.
He is going to be better than Eli Manning.
Yeah, I've talked so much shit on Eli Manning that I can't pick him to win a game, so I'm going to go San Francisco. Lucas, but here's a quick question for you. If you could pick between the San Francisco 49ers third-string quarterback or Eli Manning, who are you taking?
Right now I'm picking Nick Mullins.
Dude, get the fuck out of here. 2 weeks ago, you wouldn't pick... Who do I even compare Eli to? Like, Russell Wilson, you said you'd rather have Eli Manning. Now you're picking the third-string quarterback. Get the fuck out of here.
Ago, man. I ain't thinking
There's a reason why you're dead last in our picks right now.
Yeah, no way. I think I went clean sweep last week.
No, you didn't. You did horrible last week.
I don't remember.
Did you pick the Jets?
Over who?
Dude, I don't even fucking know. All I know is that I had like an 8-point lead over you and Chance.
Hey, it's still early. We're only halfway through the season. I mean, I'm going back, man.
All right, Lucas. Well, just to redeem yourself a bit, is there any NHL news you want to tell us about at all?
NHL news. Yeah, this kid on Vancouver Canucks. His name is Elias Pettersson. He was drafted first round. I think he was their fifth pick. He is insane. He is the 5th player in the past 100 years to score 10 goals in his first 10 games. Fun fact for you. The Canucks are on fire. They've won 9 games. He's just insane. Like watching him play is so fun. And just to say the league right now, like him. All these young guys, McDavid, Matthews, Laine, Brock Besser is also in Vancouver. It's just the youth movement is so fun to watch now because they're so fast and they're so talented, and the league's in a really good place right now. It's so fun to watch hockey. So Penguins, they've lost 4 straight. They're switching up the lines. They face Washington tonight. By the time this podcast comes out, it's still early. People are saying, get rid of Murray. No, why'd you ever get rid of Fleury? You know, the same shit they said last year, the dumbest shit. Like the Fairweather fans, they have no idea what they're talking about. They've lost 4 games out of an 82-game fucking season. Like,
what's the record right now, the Penguins record?
6-4-3 maybe.
Aren't they only 1 point out of first place?
Yeah, I think they were 2 points out of first place a couple days ago. But, like, it's so fucking early.
Yeah.
You play an 82 fucking game season.
Yeah, you can't. You can't determine stuff
it's
out of
gonna
a couple
happen.
games. Yeah.
2016, the year we won our Stanley Cup, we were doing worse than we were now. Sidney Crosby had
fired our
barely
fucking
any
head
points.
coach.
We fired a coach. They lit it up. Last year, we had a very slow start. And then the last 40 games, we went like 39-2 or something, or 39-1. It's so early. Like, I'm not worried about the Penguins. But
Well, speaking of overreactions and franchises, Lucas, are you done with your NHL news for right now?
That's about it.
Okay, I'm going to transfer us to some basketball.
Oh, God, I shouldn't have finished.
Hey, exactly. You screwed yourself. And you even gave me the transition.
All right,
The Lakers are currently... Magic Johnson had a discussion with the Lakers head coach because of their slow start. Because they are... I think they're like 4-6 or something like that. But they're looking bad. They were not looking good.
They also play 82 games?
Yeah, they also play 82 games.
Okay.
So, pretty much, at the start of the season, Magic Johnson, obviously LeBron James signed with the Lakers.
Really?
They were... What?
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, that happened. A little thing.
Oh.
And so they said that Luke Walton, who was originally brought on to teach a really young team, now obviously has way different expectations, was supposed to be given leeway to teach this team and, kind of go with them. And now that has already changed. So my guess is give it like another 4 podcasts, and we'll be talking about trades that has happened on the Lakers and how they'll trade away all their young talent to try to bring in a bunch of veterans and okay players.
J.R. Smith to the Lakers.
Actually, J.R. Smith once traded from the Cavs.
I saw some
No
fake
shit.
I saw some fake news report that he was like actually traded to the Lakers, and it was funny as fuck.
It brought up that JR would not accept a buyout either. And I thought about it. I'm like, JR, why would you not accept a buyout? Because you could easily go to the Lakers. And now hear me out. The Lakers need 3-point shooting, and JR Smith is a 3-point shooter. I'm sure he would just love to suck LeBron's dick and be in LA. So he would probably very easily take the minimum contract.
How's LeBron doing?
He's still averaging like 27, 8, and 8, which is.
So he hasn't really slowed down at all.
Well, so here's the thing: is it's like he's not looking as good as he was in years past.
He's playing better teams.
Yeah, so far they have beaten the teams that are not playoff teams. So all the teams they have lost to have been playoff teams. And they haven't gotten blown out until they played the Raptors. They got blown out against the Raptors. But like every game has been close. They just don't know how to close games because they're a young team. Another quick thing is that the Cavs are currently in dead last place, tied with the Washington Wizards for a 1-8 or 1-9 record currently. So that's how bad the Cavs were, and LeBron drug them to the finals against the goal. And people are giving him shit because he couldn't win against a all-time great team with a team.
The fucking NBA 2K team that was made.
And you remove one player, and they instantly become the worst team in the NBA behind the Washington Wizards. But they're bad because of another reason.
Was that a John Wall quote? Was that real? Whenever he said that Harry Potter is the only wizard that can save his team?
I read that, and I don't know if that's actually true or not.
I saw that, and I literally laughed out loud.
But
it's so funny.
Think about this, though. The Wizards were a playoff team last year, and they have the same record as the Cavs right now. And the Cavs have no hope. Think about that. So there's just some shit fucked up
like
there.
we said with the NHL, it's still early. Anything can happen.
Oh, yeah. But
just right now.
But so then this is the other thing I wanted to cover, which is actually more general sports topics, but I'm going to set it up in this way. So the Celtics played Denver, I think a couple days ago whenever this podcast comes out. The Nuggets, yes. And their point guard, Jamal Murray, he had 48 points on the night. It was a great game. It was a close game. I think the Nuggets ended up winning by like 8 points or so. So it was a pretty close game. In the last 9 seconds, Jamal Murray had 48 points. He jacked up a long 3-point shot. Like Steph Curry range, like very low percentage going, but he threw it up trying to get 50 points because obviously 50 sounds better than 48 because you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Blake Griffin, who's been a star for how long, just scored 50 points. And this kid is in his...
D Rose threw up 50 the other day, right?
And that was his career high.
Yeah,
and they've been in the league for like 10 years now, and this kid's in his 3rd year. So the Celtics got really upset. Kyrie Irving especially got upset. And at one point, at the end of the game, he took the ball and he threw the basketball and it's up to like the 2nd row. So the ball is gone. And his quote after the game was pretty much that if you're going to play that bullshit like that, then the crowd deserves your game ball pretty much. And everyone talked about, breaking. It's kind of like an unwritten rule where if you're winning in basketball and you have the last possession, you just dribble it out and that's it. And other people were saying, well, if he was scoring 48, you could have stopped him scoring 48. You weren't pissed that he scored 20. You weren't pissed that he scored 30 or 40, but you're pissed that he tries to go for 50. I guess the reason why I really want to talk about this was that there's these unwritten rules in sports. Football has them, hockey has them, baseball definitely has them, basketball has them. I think they are the dumbest things, and I think it is just stupid whenever grown men get so upset that you break some hidden rule or some unwritten rule, which normally is just in BS garbage time or something like that. Now some if you're trying to injure someone, that's different, but like in baseball, if you crank a home run
you flip the bat
and you stare at the pitch and the pitcher gets pissed, that is the dumbest thing. Because if you look at it, pitchers strike out batters way more than batters hit home runs. So it's the likelihood that they're going to do that, you can just come back and strike them out the next one.
It makes it fun. Like if you just hit home runs, you just walk to base. You throw a strikeout, and you just turn around and walk back to the mound. It's no fun. It's just like a robot. It's like a simulation. Add some fucking character. Add some personalities to the games. Like same with like, especially basketball. Like for him to get upset about that, they're going to be a playoff team. Like, why is he so mad about losing the fucking Nuggets? The one game. I understand it's kind of embarrassing for someone to throw up 50 points and just throw like a shit show shot from like half court, but like it's just how it is.
Well, I think he was more upset at the fact that it's the end time. No one was guarding him. He was wide open. He was by himself, and he threw up this shot. So it was one of those things where it's like everyone was standing there just waiting for the clock to be done, and he threw up this
He
shot.
should have fucking dunked on him.
Well, and so that was my thing, is that he could have easily, like, there's no one in the paint. He could have driven up for that layup, and he would have got his 50 points.
I think that would have been worse.
Oh,
like,
that's definitely
how many
big
seconds
F you.
were left? Like 5 seconds? Like
Oh, there was 5 seconds. Like, he threw it up, and there was like 3 seconds
yeah,
left.
so if he would have drove to the paint, everyone's probably just standing around waiting for the clock, and if he would have ran in there, no one would have been ready. That would have been kind of a dick move, but just throw up from 3-point, like, why not?
Now, are there any, like, unwritten rules in hockey?
Not like as bad as baseball and basketball. Like, you don't want to like talk shit to people like in front of their benches or shit, but they do shit about it. Like, if you do something that someone doesn't like, you're gonna get into a fight next shift.
Well, I guess I didn't know if there's somewhere like if you're beating a team by like if you're beating a team by like 5 points, do you kind of try to ease up more or something like that?
If you're winning 10-0,
you keep playing your best players.
You're fucking scoring every chance you get.
Yeah, well, that's also because hockey you can change positions in standings by points scored, right?
No.
Oh, I thought that was like a big thing. It was like however many points you had also matters or dictated something.
Points like you get. I think you misunderstood. Like,
oh, you get so many points for wins and ties and that type.
Yeah.
That's right, it is. Yes,
But
I don't watch hockey.
Like if it's fucking 10-0, you're still gonna go out there and score on your fucking power play.
Or like chance in
It's
football.
a man's game.
In football, whenever you're winning, like if you're beating a team by like 40 points, and you have the ball in the last drive, like you're supposed to take a knee, kind of.
So in football, these unwritten rules per se can actually negatively affect teams. So in college football, like the whole ranking system is based off a bunch of factors.
Mm-hmm.
But say you play like a shitty team, say like for instance Ohio State. You know, before they lost last week or 2 weeks ago, whenever that was, they were the number 4 team in the nation, and so Ohio State being a number 4 team, if they play a shittier college that isn't ranked and they don't win by say 60 points, like a blowout, that makes their team look bad.
Yep.
So like college teams have to like run up the score per se to make themselves stand out from other college teams, because there's like hundreds of schools competing for these 4 college playoff spots. So you have to be one of the 4 most popular, like, standout fucking schools in college football. So these schools, they just run up the scores on these shitty teams. I mean, no one says anything. I mean, people bitch like the other team because, you know, you're losing 64-0 and then this team scores for a touchdown. But
if it was flip flop,
yeah, if it was flip flop,
60 points on somebody. I mean,
yeah, and like some tiebreakers have come down in football to the points you've scored. Like that's a tiebreaker. So like say you say, oh, there's 10 seconds left, we're up like 3, there's no point in scoring this touchdown from the 1 yard line, let's just take a knee and end it. And then like you have a tiebreaker and you come down and like, oh, we needed those 6 points, we didn't do that, now we're not in the playoffs because we're fucked.
It's a sport, it's a competition. Yeah. I mean, we're not trying to be buddies. Like, I think
as a fan, I hate the teams quit playing when they're up that much. The game's so boring at that point because the team that's losing 64-0 already quit. They quit in the first quarter, and the team that's up 64-0 has now quit because they're up 64-0. So what's the point of watching anymore?
So, in the sense of football, I could see where as a team you would kind of pack it in some, in the sense that I feel like with football there's a lot higher chance of injuries than in any other sport. So in there I could send, because you know it only takes one bad tackle or one something or other, and then boom, there goes your knee or something like that. But yeah, and my thought is that don't get upset with people whenever they beat you over something like that.
Oh yeah.
Like if it's something where it's like you can be upset while playing sports if it's something based like, oh, they were trash talking or something like that, and that's just some people get react. Like if someone crosses the line or something, okay, that's fine. But if it's just someone genuinely beats you, like if someone puts 48 points on you and they want to get 50, let them get like you should have cared whenever they were getting 30 or whenever they were getting 40. Don't care whenever they're about to score 50. And like in football, don't get all pissy if it's a blowout and they're gonna put like, what does that 10 points matter? Or what does that 6 points matter to you?
Yeah, you should have.
You're already lost. You know what I mean?
Scored the first time, yeah.
And I guess in hockey there isn't as many, but like in baseball, it's like that dude just went yard on you and he just stared at it. Yeah, he's gonna do that because you want to know why? If you strike someone out, you're probably gonna get a little fist pound. Like if you strike someone out at the end of this, like at the end of the inning, like you know you're coming off that mountain, like fist
Oh,
pump,
yeah,
like that.
You
And the
see,
bat,
you
like
see
where
it
the
all the
bat-
time. The pitchers get so hyped.
And then pitchers then they get a right to pretty much just drill you with a 98-mile-an-hour fastball to the
Yeah,
head.
their pitchers are prima donnas, or prima donnas in baseball.
Like I said, I just wanted to bring that whole thing up just because it happened,
Yeah,
and
I
I just
like
wanted to
that.
see what you guys thought about unwritten rules, and I think they're bullshit. But
No,
some
I
people
agree. I like that. You
So-
don't think about that too much.
No.
Those.
Well, because like I said, it doesn't happen a lot because they are unwritten rules. But whenever they happen, it's always like this big, oh, you broke an unwritten rule. Like, get the fuck over it. You know what I mean? So we're gonna switch things up. We're gonna talk a little bit of video games right now. Some video games. There is a new Overwatch character coming out that was just announced. Hero, is it 29 or 30?
I don't know.
Some hero named Ash. She is the leader of McCree's gang. She's a new character. Lucas, why don't you tell us a little bit about her?
All right, so yeah, Ash is she's with McCree. She's a DPS character. Not too much has came out yet. I haven't watched like the backstory, like animated video yet, but I was watching some PTR footage. She looks pretty cool. I'm excited for her to come out. She has a rifle. You can aim down the sights
Which is
in
new.
this game, which is pretty cool. You're not like Widow. You have to fucking snipe. It's like a rifle, and you can hip fire for a faster firing rate. She has a stick of dynamite she throws. You can shoot it and it explodes, or it has a timed explosive on it. She has like I don't know what it is, some type of rifle that she shoots. If she aims it like backwards, it'll propel her forward, kind of like a Lucio Bop, if he can boop himself. She looks fucking hot too, if that matters. I mean, that's a factor.
It matters for you because I know
mean,
that's what it does.
No, she's cool. It's a really cool style. I like having those sharpshooter DPS characters, but it's not. I don't think she's gonna be broken. Like if you had something like a tank or a healer, it's so much easier to break the game. Just how hard it is to balance against one of those. But a DPS character like her, I think it's gonna be fun.
Now, did you see her alt at all?
I did not see her alt.
So
actually.
her alt, I didn't get to watch any video of it. I was just listening to a podcast that was talking about it. Her alt is that she calls in this giant robot that comes in like, I don't know what he does if he fights people or something like that, but he just comes onto the playing field and just pretty much fights for you at this point.
Interesting.
So I'm curious to see if that's going to be super broken in the sense that, because like it was like trying to compare him to different things and like he kind of fucks a lot of things up. So I'm very curious to see how that works. But
Anyway, before this character came out, I wanted to talk about Overwatch on this pod anyway, because me and Evan, we started playing Overwatch again, and it's exciting again. Like it feels like we're back at our peak, like winter 2017 when we were fragging on Overwatch every single night.
Season 8.
Oh, we were so fucking good at Overwatch, and we just like stopped playing because it got pretty bunk when they added like Moira and Brigitte especially.
We
But,
were done. Well, I guess I was done right whenever Brigitte.
Yeah, because we played
Brigitte
for a while
got on.
with Moira, but
Yeah, I liked Moira. I was
then
cool
they
with her.
added Wrecking Ball. It wasn't a rough spot for a little bit, but they fixed it a lot. They added some new maps. It feels really good. Like it's playing really well. I haven't tried a new competitive season yet, but it's fun again. Like
We'll
I'm
have to get
excited to
ranked.
play.
We'll have to get ranked for that new because I also played it a little bit a couple nights ago. And, I mean, it was still Overwatch, and it was just quick play, but
Yeah.
I'll probably try to dabble in Overwatch again, especially whenever this new character comes out. She did look fun, so we'll just have to wait and see. Chance, are you gonna dust off the old Mercy and/or Zenyatta orbs?
I'm a Mercy main now,
I don't
so
even have
you
the
can
game
do whatever you
installed
want.
right now.
Dude, you better install the game. Lucas is the healer
That's
now. It's
fresh.
no longer me and you, Chance. It's no longer me and you.
I mean, I always switched off Mercy and shit, but I like maining. I'm more of a main on heals now than I was a tank. But,
Chance, who played healers the majority of the time? Who are the two fine gentlemen that
You
played
two.
heals?
I'm just
It-
saying,
it was-
I participated.
It was us. I started out. I played support the entire fucking time. So ever since we started playing,
you're
I was,
fucking amazing at it too.
and it burnt me out.
You also like playing Roadhog and Reaper though.
Yeah, I did.
I love playing
I like
Mercy, though.
support, so I'm not gonna complain. I like the characters, but I just
See,
I don't
some-
know if I can
some
get
of
back
us-
into it, man. I just
I'm
Some of
telling
us
you,
here
man.
were tank characters who got forced into support. Me. So, just saying. But no, I'll definitely have to get back into it, and I'll try to see if it's good or if it's still dead or not.
Yeah, I think it's at a good spot right now.
So a viewer, a
fan.
OG
Arguably our
fan.
number
A
one
listener.
fan.
He commented me on Facebook as well as anyone else listening
Anybody
to this podcast
needs
can.
to. Anybody do this. Like, if you're listening to this right now, do it. I don't care what it's about. Fucking Kardashian's got a new butt implant. Bring it up. We'll talk about it.
Lucas will
knows
talk
about-
about
I
the
know all
dynamics.
about
Lucas is
Kardashians.
all in on the Kardashians. He's been keeping up, if you know what I mean.
Nice. But,
And
yeah. Anyway, we got a fan submission.
So anyway, Mike submitted not the Mike that was on here, another Mike. He submitted to us about the new Smash trailer that came out, and he told us to look at it and maybe comment on it. So we watched it before this podcast before we recorded this podcast. We saw the new story mode for Smash, which is coming out in December. It looked like it's kind of like a standard fighting storyline in the sense that you're just fighting the good characters, but like an evil version of them.
Yeah.
But it looked like they also tried to kind of do like a top-down RPG elements that had, sort of like skills and stuff that you could build up as well. I was hearing about this, that there's certain like skills and points like that where as you go throughout the storyline, you like level up these skills and stuff, but it's only for the story mode. So what did you guys think watching the trailer?
It looked cool. Like, visually, it was amazing. But very confusing. There's a lot going on in it. But it was cool. They're adding a lot of new characters. It's gonna be cool having a story mode. I think it's gonna give people. It's gonna bring in a different audience for people who want to play a story mode. And I think it's gonna be cool because it looks like you're saving all these good guys that got turned evil or whatever. Yeah, I mean, I've never been a huge Smash guy because I never really owned a Smash. I've just been playing like occasionally at a friend's house over the years. But it looks cool.
Chance, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, so when it comes to fighting games, there's not too much innovation you can put in them. It's a standard fighting game, but it's kind of neat that the twist they're adding to the story mode of this, because not too many fighting games have story modes.
Mhm.
They kind of have like tournament-based like missions where you fight like so many people, then you fight like a stronger version of somebody, and then you fight like so many people. Like it's like fucking Street Fighter tournament.
Yeah.
Kinda. But yeah, they kind of made this seem like a JRPG or something. I don't know. It's interesting.
I would definitely recommend that if you guys are interested, definitely go watch the trailer and stuff like that we watched. The other thing was that, like for me, like I never really got big into fighting games. Like I'm gonna get Smash. I already have it pre-ordered. But like for me, like I got Injustice. Like that was probably the last like fighting game I really got into. And like I only played the story because I'm not good enough to play online. And I'm not really good enough.
That was a cool story. Like I liked how they had that in Injustice. Like that story mode was cool. So I think that's gonna add a cool factor into Smash because, like Chance said, old Smash, you're just working off this ladder, facing stronger opponents, different challenges. But now you're gonna have an incentive, like fucking Kirby saving the world. That sounds cool to me.
But yeah, so like I said, for me personally, I'm glad they have this so that way I can play the game and not feel like I suck at it necessarily. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas if I try to play it online, like I know I'm just gonna get my shit pushed in and that'll be about it. Mike also recommended to go watch the Infinity War trailer made out of that trailer. So I would also go recommend and look that up because I'm sure Mike would not ever steer you guys wrong. And finally, there's another cowboy in the mix here at this table, and that is me. I also picked up Red Dead. Lucas, for some reason, refuses to pick up Red Dead.
It's not that I'm refusing. I just haven't cared enough to get it. Don't get me wrong. Like I love watching clips on like Facebook with all this cool shit happening. It looks amazing.
He loves the horse balls. He's
Horse balls
fascinated
shrinking
by
and growing is just thrilling to me. But I just haven't picked it up yet.
I picked it up and I've probably played like 4 hours of it. And it is a slower paced game, I will say that. A lot of people who criticize that it's a slower paced game, at least in the beginning, I'm not really too deep into it. I will kind of agree with that, it is slower paced. But the one thing that really got me is there's the legendary hunts you can do, so you can go and hunt animals. And pretty much in the one hunt, you go and you hunt this legendary bear. And I'm thinking like, okay, I'm gonna shoot this bear and it's probably just gonna run off or something like that. I was dead wrong. I pulled out my rifle and I saw it maybe like 50 yards away, and I shot it one time and it just turns and starts running at me, and I'm like, shit. So I just unload my entire rifle at this thing, and it's getting closer and closer. And every shot I take, I'm like, this will kill it. Okay, this one will kill it. This one will kill it. So eventually it gets to the point where it just jumps on me and mauls me, and I'm like, oh, I'm fucking dead. and I didn't die because I guess it was just like the cutscene, or like it was not the cutscene, it was like the scene. And pretty much this bear just like fucking pushed me over, like put its whole paw on my chest, and like just starts hitting the shit out of me to the point where I'm underneath it. I pull out a knife and like I stab it, and then I like just pull my revolver, put like 4 shots into it, and it dies.
That's cool.
So it was one of those things where it was like so unexpected and so terrifying because I thought I just died, but it was so cool, and it just kind of got me hooked in because now I'm running around with this thing's head on my head as a bear hat. So I'm with Chance at this point. I would definitely recommend it. I'm only not even 10 hours in, and I think it's a fantastic game, especially if you like GTA, aka Lucas, especially the story mode. Which me and Chance even said after the podcast that like I never finished the GTA story mode, and neither did Chance.
I like the GTA story mode a lot.
And it reminded me a lot of that in the sense of, I mean, obviously it's different because you're not a gangster thug.
Did you play the first Red Dead Redemption?
No, I didn't play the first Red Dead. Chance did. I did not play the first one.
So you're not like missing anything.
Oh, this game is
No,
a prequel.
It's a prequel. So you actually have to play this before you can play the first one. So Chance actually played it wrong,
I didn't beat the first one either. So.
and that's why, because now he has to go back and play the first one.
I'm sure I'll cop it sometime, but like I was talking to you guys last night, like there's so many games coming out, like Fallout 76 comes out next week. Spyro, the reimagined trilogy comes out next week.
Pokemon comes out next week.
There's a couple more coming out next week too. Like there's so many games coming out at the same time span. I mean, there's just
Welcome to that holiday crunch.
that's what it is.
But if you guys want to get some good deals on some games here, I wrote a couple down for you guys.
Target.
Well, yeah, Target. But no, these are actual legit things that you can do right now. So PUBG, apparently you can get PUBG for free. I'm not 100% sure on this one at this point. It could just be free to play currently. So that's just one thing I read about it this morning, and I just wanted to add in here. Also, you can get Destiny 2 for free right now on the PC. So, looking
What are
at
you
you.
trying to say?
I'm saying that if you guys get Destiny 2, hit me up in the DMs and you guys can join my clan and we can
I have
go.
Destiny 2 on the Xbox.
Yeah, but guess who won't play it?
Me.
Yeah, I know.
It's trash.
Guess who else won't play it?
Because
Anybody
it's
else.
trash.
No, my. So, Lucas, I know that you said that you had a movie review that you would like to do as well. So I'm going to open up the floor to you for a movie review.
All right, so I'm going to start throwing movie reviews into this pod, so hope the audience doesn't mind. We're going to go with the same rating system as we do for video games and everything else, with there being points on a deer. All right, so I seen the big movie that's out right now, Bohemian Rhapsody. I'm a big Queen guy. It was one of the first bands I've got into when I was younger. It's a nice, solid rock band. They got any hit song you can think of, it was probably made by Queen. So this movie was really, really good. I went by myself, as I do. Very underrated way to see a movie. Just saying.
By yourself.
That's actually how movies are intended to be seen.
I've probably
Is that
seen.
You're in a dark room the whole purpose is to watch the screen
Yeah.
in front of you.
I thought that was just that way you could fondle yourself without other people
I mean, that's
watching
just
you.
a bonus. I didn't get there yet.
Oh, okay,
No.
fair
Have
enough.
you ever
But,
given yourself the popcorn trick? Like just done it yourself?
Is that where you just cut a hole in the bottom of the popcorn thing? And
Yeah,
then,
but normally like someone else reaches in,
But you just do it to yourself.
but you just do it to yourself in this situation.
I know what I'm doing next time I go to the movies. Maybe after Lucas gives this review, I'll go see
Make sure you
Bohemian
get
Rhapsody.
extra butter.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
But
Okay.
no, seriously, like seeing it by yourself is awesome. I do it at least once a week. I'm not even kidding.
All right.
Anyway, Bohemian Rhapsody, I'm gonna give it 7 or an 8 point out of 10 points. So it's a really, really solid deer, but it's not the best thing ever made.
How's the soundtrack?
I'm getting there. Calm down, Chance. I know you're excited, but calm down. All right. So the casting in the movie was almost perfect. Like the Brian May guitar player, this dude looks almost exactly like him. Obviously, it's mostly focused on Freddie Mercury, the singer. This dude who's playing him, they made him look pretty good, but it's not perfect. But a lot of the band casting is great. The pacing throughout the first half of the movie was kind of odd. It felt rushed at times. Like Freddie Mercury meets the band. Next thing you know, they're the best band in the world somehow. It was very odd pacing. And then the second half was kind of slower, but the audio was phenomenal. The visuals were great. They really captured the time period very well. They obviously had some of their best songs. How they made the songs mostly focused on their album Night at the Opera, which features Bohemian Rhapsody, obviously, so many other hits. It's a great album. They filmed a couple live moments. They captured these incredibly. It just felt like you were in the stadium, in the concert venue. It felt like you were watching them live. They focused too much on his teeth, to the point it was almost distracting. All right, so Freddie Mercury he was born with 4 extra teeth in his mouth, so he has a huge overbite. So they made the actor have one as well. It was kind of distracting several times in the movie, just because I think they made it too pronounced at times. But his was pretty bad, but I think they made it worse in the movie for some reason. Like I said, they focused mostly on Freddie Mercury. They told his story very well of him growing up in a very strict religious family, him moving away from that, him being bisexual, him contracting the HIV/AIDS virus, and him dying from that. They captured his story very well, his struggles with his family and life, his alcohol and drug abuse. It was pretty intense, his love lives and stuff. If you like Queen, you should see it. Like, if you like any of their songs, you should see it. If you like good rock documentaries or any type of movie, it's a great movie. But so I'm giving it an 8.
An 8 point.
7 point, depends on the mood. I don't think it's very rewatchable. Like, I'm not gonna go rewatch it in theaters. Maybe on DVD someday, but it's a solid movie.
That's an 8 point.
How long was it?
It was probably about 2 hours, a little over 2 hours.
You know, Chance kind of looks like Freddie Mercury today with that mustache.
You really do, actually. But so yeah.
So an 8 point for you is a movie that you will not, or you might not watch again.
That's why I'm giving it a 7 point on the rewatchable scale. But I mean, that's on a 7 or 8. It's a toss up.
That's all right. Hey, it's your scale.
Yeah,
it's your deal that you're shooting.
Yeah. So
well,
what it is.
Lucas, while you were giving that fantastic
I thought it was a pretty solid
review,
movie.
that's what I'm saying. Fantastic review. There is a breaking news update right now. Le'Veon tweeted while you were away. He did it in a weird upside down text font.
Okay.
So you literally have to flip your phone upside down to read it.
Maybe he's too stupid to type.
No. This took some fucking time to type this out. Okay. So I'm gonna read this in quotes. So quote: I'm not apologizing for what I believe is right for myself, family, or the rest of my peers. Period. Also, if you're really finding the time to figure out what I'm saying, you've proved my point. God damn it, he got me on that one.
What does that even mean?
It pretty much means that he's not apologizing for sitting out because he's doing what's right for him and his family.
What's that second sentence mean?
Oh, it's just saying that, like, you care enough about him still that we're going to, A, do a breaking news at the end of our fantastic podcast to talk about it, and B, I'm actually going to take the time to flip my phone upside down and read it. Look at it for yourself. You look at it for yourself.
That's so fucking stupid.
And then you flip it upside down. Dude, you realize it took so much time to do that.
He had someone do that.
No, dude, it took so much time.
He definitely sat there and Googled, like, upside down you, upside down I, and, like, copied and pasted it into his Twitter app.
Well, think about it. He had to type that backwards. That's the thing. You had to type that backwards.
Oh, I guarantee he typed it forward first and then
put it into a Word document, cut it, pasted, flipped it, rotated it, pasted.
Make it blue.
Yeah. That's so fucking weird.
Chance, what do you think this means?
I wish he would just show the fuck up so I can use him in fantasy football. Goddamn it. That's
the comments.
Are you still wasting a roster spot on him?
Yes, I traded for him.
The first comment underneath his tweet is, "Yo, I just traded Connor in fantasy. Don't fuck this up for me." That's the first comment afterwards. So,
oh man.
So who knows if he's showing up? Maybe by the next podcast.
Yeah, that doesn't
he'll
tell
be
us
there.
Anything. That kind of makes him. Seem
He's got to either show up or not show up by the next podcast. We will know by the next podcast.
But that tweet kind of sounds like he's not showing up even more.
That tweet doesn't say anything other than he's.
I know, but
it's
that's what I'm
upside
saying.
down.
It doesn't
None of us
say
understand
anything, but it kind of leads to the way that he's not coming
He's
back.
a fucking troll.
Oh my! Well, I tell you what. Just tune in next week to see if Le'Veon shows up
gives you guys
in our reaction.
Because I'm sure you won't hear this anywhere else except for our podcast.
You only
next
listen
Friday
to us for our weekly updates in football.
Fucking show up, Le'Veon. If you're listening to this shit,
Oh, yeah, we know you're listening.
show up. We know you're listening to this while you have your earbuds in, playing pickup basketball at Planet Fitness on the South Side.
Get him, Chance.
Let's hear me out, Le'Veon. I traded Odell Beckham and James White for your ass.
Get him.
They're balling out right now.
OBJ's balling out.
I look like an idiot in my fantasy
Yeah,
football
yeah.
league, even though I am in third place, number one in my division. But if Le'Veon Bell came back, that could be number one right now.
If he
Do it
gets
for
the touches.
Chance, Lev Bell. Do it for Chance. Do it for the kids.
I'm not asking for a lot, just like maybe
Just
12,
show up, man. That's
12
it.
points per game,
Le'Veon, we need you for our fantasy.
We
That is.
need
Fuck
you.
you, Le'Veon.
There's
Fuck you.
there's a couple
We're
$100 on the line here.
We're coming through a very tough part in our schedule, and I think if you came back right now, some teams will give you a really great contract. Wink, wink. You know what I mean?
Le'Veon, we will have a GoFundMe in Trash Deer Sports' fucking name.
That says, "Go fund Le'Veon."
Whatever we make, we'll give it to you. I'm not gonna give you any number on that
It
because
might pay for your LA Fitness gym membership, but that's about it.
that might be it. Honestly,
Hey.
that might be fucking it.
Better than nothing. Man.
That should be your incentive right there.
You're welcome.
So, all right, guys, just make sure you check in next week to see whether Le'Veon shows up or, hell, if Chance has to pay for Le'Veon's whole entire NFL salary.
Should I go get a membership at the Planet Fitness he was at?
I think just
Sign
to
up at his
And
gym.
I'll just sit there all fucking day and wait for him to show up.
take a reporter's badge too. That way he knows you're legit.
Trash
Can we
your
get
logo.
Trash Deer Radio? I could
Oh, yeah,
I could break this fucking story.
Think about it,
Oh
dude.
my
Your tweet.
God.
You tweet out from the @Trash Deer Sports Twitter page. That's once again
Find out
at
where he lives.
Trash Deer
Go
Sports.
camp outside his house and just break into his house. Give him some type of sedation like chloroform or something, and
Okay,
just
don't do that. Don't do that.
why not?
That is a no go.
All right, don't do that. But yeah, go to the gym and get the scoop. Break our story, make us
Make us millionaires.
worldwide.
That's what Lucas wants.
This
Is
is
for the
your
money.
job.
I want to see Le'Veon have fun. That's all I care about. But until next week, we'll see you then.
See ya.
Peace.